Hello YouTubians, it's Russ Sandlin again with this latest installment of Who Won the Money? So many of you know that I am in Qatar and I diversify my savings to mitigate against the risk with bank failures. So far, last couple of weeks, we haven't had too many more bank failures, although there's a lot of exposure out there. So just as a recap, I have 5 bank accounts in the United States. I can tell you who they are again. Navy Federal Credit Union is my favorite. USAA. I got Velocity Credit Union, Dover Federal Credit Union, and Camden National Bank, which is a local bank. So I have my savings distributed evenly between those 5. I don't have to worry about the $250,000 FDIC insurance amount because I don't have anywhere near that amount. But that's what I have in the U.S. And then I have a second jurisdiction, which I think all of you should have. My jurisdiction happens to be in Qatar because I'm working here in Qatar until the end of the year. So I have Doha Bank, where I can also buy gold at spot value. I've also got QNB that handles my salary. It's Qatar National Bank. It's also very stable. It's backed by the government. It was the only bank for many, many years. I've also got Ali Bank, which is Arabic for family bank. I've also got QIB, Qatar International Bank, and then the last one I have is Dukhan Bank, which is this week's version of Who Won the Money because they just announced their March winners. So let me tell you who won the money. It's hard for me to read it, but they gave out, I guess, about 40 winners. So the first 2 are monthly winners, and those 2 individuals were lucky to receive 10,000 Qatar Rial each. So 10,000 Qatar Rial, as a recap, is $2,700, which isn't bad. It was Safiya Zerara and Leena Kordia. So both of them are looking like they're from the Middle East, but maybe not Qatar. And then there's 30 winners of 5,000 Qatar Rial. And I'm looking through these winners, and I do see a few names that are not local. I see a Filipino one. Congratulations, her name is Christina. I won't give the last name so people don't bother her. And then the rest of them look like they might be Qataris. But there's 30 winners, maybe more. At least 30 winners. And they got 5,000 Qatar Rial, which comes out to 1,350. So who won the money in Dukhan Bank? Well, they had 32 winners, and they gave out quite a bit of money. Now, they do also every quarter give out 1 million Qatar Rial. So that's Dukhan Bank. Now, to win and to be eligible, you got to have 10,000 Qatar Rial in their savings account. You also need to be working in Qatar, have a Qatar ID, and a sponsor in order to open the account. If you don't have that, you can't open the account. So what does that mean for me? It means I'm going to have to close all 5 of my accounts at the end of the year, into December, because my job ends then. So I'm desperately looking for another job. You know, maybe by some miracle they'll keep me, who knows. But in the meantime, a lot of you have told me, Russ, move your money, because you want to have that second jurisdiction, to Dubai. So I looked into it. One, Dubai gives a lot more money. They have about 15 different banks that have drawings, and these drawings give more money away. One of them gives out, I think, 2 Teslas vehicles every month, and then there are 5 or 6 that give out about 3 million dirham, which is $1 million, every 3 months. So these banks are giving out $1 million every 3 months to many people. Now, there's only 3 million people in Qatar. There's 10 million people in the United Arab Emirates. So the odds aren't quite as great. So I looked into it further, and I would have to fly there. I'd had to be there for a while, and I'd had to do all the know your customer details with FACTA and FBARs. I'd had to fill out all these forms and wait for them to open it because I'm American, and it's harder for an American to open a bank account anywhere outside the United States. Is it doable? Probably not. I'm probably going to need to find a jurisdiction. Oh, and you need to put in a minimum of $100,000, which I don't have handy. So bottom line, I'm still looking for a jurisdiction outside of Qatar and outside the United States once I leave here. Maybe, inshallah, I'll be able to stay here more than another year. But the problem is I turned 60 in May, and there's some laws in the GCC that you can't work past 60. Now, for every rule, there are exceptions, and maybe I will find another job or talk my current employer into keeping me another year. That would be a miracle, and it would be fantastic. But if not, then I'll continue to look for another job somewhere else, and maybe I'll get lucky and find a job somewhere else that has bank accounts. Otherwise, I'll be back in the U.S. and I'll have to find an offshore solution where I don't have to actually move there, and I don't have to be there for a long time or even visit at all. I can just do it remotely. I know Belize has something like that. I don't know how strong the banking system is in Belize, but the salient point here is I want to have my money diversified. So if the bank fails, I've got other banks, and I want to have some outside the United States in case all the banks in the United States fail. The chances of that happening are unlikely, but I do have a bit of a tinfoil hat on. It's invisible today, but I do have that. So anyway, if any of you have any ideas on what I should do with my little savings that I have at the end of the year, let me know. Where can I park it outside the United States? And thank you for tuning in for the latest update on Who Won the Money. Thank you. Make it a great day.